Welcome to our 5 on 5. We're pleased to welcome Mark Dobie, the president and publisher of Klamath Falls Herald News. Mark, how are you today? Great to meet you.
Great.
Thanks for being here. So tell us a little bit about your background and how you came to the Herald News.
Well, I started with Pioneer News Group back in 2010 and was in their Mount Vernon, Washington location, and got to be able to work with a great group of people up there, including Stedham Wood, who's the owner and the head of Pioneer News Group. And they saw fit to move me down here to Klamath Falls to be their publisher and president.
Yeah, and you've been on the job for 3 weeks, correct? So
3 weeks.
So I'm
yeah.
sure you're gonna be ready for all the questions I'm gonna throw at you.
Well,
no worries.
I've learned a lot in 3 weeks.
I'm sure you have. You've
Yeah.
got a lot thrown at you. It's early, of course, but what are you focusing on? What are you trying to accomplish at the Herald News?
Well, really, I want to carry forward the mission that they've always had in terms of vetted journalism, fact-based journalism. We have a great connection with the community there. We have a really good connection with the resources and the people, and we want to continue that. Some of the things that are evolving, obviously, are our presence in the digital world, our ability to reach people outside of Klamath Falls and across the country that have a connection to Klamath Falls through heraldandnews.com and our various web presence. So for us, it's making sure that we disseminate and expose the community to the information that we need to, making sure that we are active members in supporting the community, and then also we're true to our journalistic mission.
Absolutely. Okay, so tell us, talking about how the model we know for broadcast television, the model for our business has changed. It's certainly changed for newspapers as well. How do you try and stay ahead of that? Because you talked about the internet and how that's been more of a focus for you guys.
Yes. So we're moving to a platform agnostic type of model where the information is the information, whether you get it through a handheld device on your phone, whether you get it in the printed paper to your doorstep, whether you look it up on your desktop. So for us, it's being able to understand that it's a cycle of information that goes 24 hours a day, that it really flows as a part of the fabric of people's lives, right? Information is not just the big breaking stories, but the calendar for the Rotary Club, or what's happening in the school system, or maybe what the next event is that we're planning for Thanksgiving on Main Street.
Sure, and as you look ahead to where the business is going 10 years, where will newspapers be? Where will the Herald News be?
Yeah. There's always a soft spot, I think, for people in terms of print, that Sunday morning experience where you're opening the newspaper and looking at it. But as we move forward, we need to recognize that people want to consume information in different ways, in shorter segments, electronically more and more, but also in different ways and places. People use the information that we disseminate as a source of conversation, a source of entertainment, a source of livelihood. So for us, we see all of these neat technologies coming along, both in terms of how people consume news, but also in how news is produced. More and more, we're all seeing people through social media and different formats being able to disseminate information based on what they see and what they capture.
Yeah, and how has as the business model has changed, how has that affected staffing? I know you've been only on the job for 3 weeks, but you've seen it at your previous position and through previous paper as well.
Yeah, well, the most public part of this staffing is what you see in the newsroom, and that's the part that we try to hold on to the most, because it takes a lot of journalists to cover the news, even in a place like Klamath Falls with the population that we have there. But we've definitely had to get more efficient. We've reduced the size of our paper. We've reduced a lot of our overhead. We've become more electronic. So we've gained a lot of efficiencies. And sometimes that comes at the expense too of reducing the staff. But what we want to still be able to do is deliver a quality product to the public without having to cut those corners in the core areas of delivering the good journalism, but also being able to put that product on your doorstep or
Absolutely.
on your computer.
Very good. Well, it was great to meet you, Mark. Thank you so
Great.
much for being here. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back.